Good evening.
It's the history of the Tottenham.
I'm sorry it didn't cost 55 million, so it cannot be good.
I will love it if we beat them. Love it.
Some of the passing is fucking scratchy.
We are in Champions League, man. Dilly din, dilly dong, come on.
Sit down! Nobody talk! Sit down!
He's 24 years old. For me, if he's not got it now, when is he going to get it?
And I won more premierships alone than the other 19 managers together.
Hey guys, welcome back to another edition of the Armchair Managers with your hosts, myself Z and Sibby, the wonderful Sibby, joining us again.
What's up, Z?
Yeah, I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm doing okay, man. It's been a lovely week.
Yeah, and an more exciting week ahead with a lot of football to watch, with consecutive days of awesome European football action. But we have a few things to get through today, don't we?
That's right. I think we should start off with the Championship playoff. Brentford played Fulham for the opportunity to rejoin us in the Premier League next season.
Yeah, a great, hard-fought match, man. Like, honestly, I didn't expect it to be as close as it was. I mean, obviously, both teams were deservedly in the playoff after their Championship campaigns. But what a story! Fulham, led by Scott Parker, former player. We both grown up seeing him in the Premier League, obviously with stints at I believe Chelsea, West Ham, and obviously Tottenham and Fulham, before kind of taking up his coaching badges at Tottenham and then moving on to Fulham and taking over from Claudio Ranieri, the great Ranieri, Dilly Dong.
Dilly Dong, yeah.
Exactly, yeah. He took over from him after they got relegated from the Premier League last season, and what a story!
First-time manager.
Yeah, first managerial job. A very kind of, I mean, the cool thing about Fulham that I saw in today. I mean, today's match. I didn't really watch them throughout the season. Obviously, I don't watch that much Championship, but I do make an effort to watch the Championship playoff every season. They play in the image of their manager, like. That Fulham side showed so many characteristics, that were so kind of ever present throughout Scott Parker's playing career, and it's really interesting to see how they went about their business today. What did you make of it?
I mean, I'm happy to see them back in the league next season. I was quite disappointed to see them drop out so quickly. And I mean, that might have been down to like them bringing in a whole new starting 11. Hopefully Scott Parker has a different approach to the market and is able to bring in some like young talent and possibly keep them up next season.
It's going to be a tough one. I mean, we've got a lot of strong teams in the Premier League.
That's right.
Coming up, and they're only getting stronger, aren't they?
Yeah, it's true.
Everyone's looking to strengthen.
Yeah, and I mean, I can't imagine how these Championship teams would have suffered during the COVID pandemic crisis.
Not just, I mean, even Premier League sides and football teams throughout the world with the lack of ticket sales and fans in stadiums. Like, I think it's just been, there's only a few teams that have come out of it a little stronger. You know, the financial juggernauts and all the clubs with the kind of cash cow sugar daddies. Billionaire owners,
That's true.
Likes of Man City, Chelsea, and arguably United has been in a good position as well. But I think for clubs such as Fulham now, who have achieved promotion, along with the likes of West Brom, and it's a big deal. It's a big deal, that bonus that comes with being amongst the elite in the top competition in England. It's definitely going to help them, isn't it?
160 million, yeah. It's a lot of money.
It's a lot of kashish.
Yeah.
So what else did you have on the agenda for today?
I thought it'd be nice to like look forward to the weekend's Europa and Champions League fixtures. We know we have the second leg of the round of 16. Maybe get your match predictions, Z.
Match predictions. You want to start off with the Europa League then?
Yeah, let's do it. So we're looking at first who have you got here?
Sorry.
Okay, so first off, we've got Shakhtar Donetsk playing Wolfsburg.
Yeah.
Shakhtar Donetsk already 2-1 up from the first leg. Do you see a way back in this game for Wolfsburg?
Well, considering Shakhtar at home, it's really hard to say with no fans in the stadium. I think Wolfsburg will probably put up a decent fight, but I honestly think Shakhtar will edge it. Personally, I think they could probably go through with a 1-goal advantage.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah, I'm gonna bet on Shakhtar.
Yeah, everyone's leaning towards Shakhtar. That what are they? Are they Ukrainian?
Ukrainian. That's correct.
Yeah, I just know they're very famous for having a lot of Brazilian players come through at their club, aren't they?
Yeah. What was that? Bernard, was it?
Bernardo, yeah.
Yeah,
Bernard
now-
or Bernardo? He's at Everton now.
Yeah, Bernardo.
Yeah,
Bernardo,
lovely,
you're right. That's
lovely little technical player.
Yeah, let's move on to Copenhagen, who are playing Istanbul Başakşehir. Okay,
Yeah,
I said it right.
well
I said it right
pronounced.
this time.
He
Yeah,
had spent time in Turkey, ladies and gentlemen.
Well, yeah, the Turkish team is up 1-0 from the first leg. Still a pretty open game, I think. Copenhagen might be able to find a way back in this.
Yeah,
but
1-0 aggregate lead. It's a tight game.
yeah, but given my time in Turkey, I'll be backing the Istanbul team for sure.
Yeah, I just have a feeling Danes just aren't going to be able to overcome the physicality, perhaps, of Başakşehir. They do know how to really dig deep and graft in games, especially in European competition, which is something that I know growing up you and I noticed, which was Turkish teams perform very differently in continental Europe than they do in their domestic league.
That is true.
It's interesting,
That's
isn't
true.
it?
I mean, it potentially could be that they earn more money through the continental competitions than they would.
But even their even the tactical kind of the tactical layout, like the way they go about their business in Europe, is substantially different than how they do in Super League.
Yeah, I mean, you could. I mean, not with any disrespect to people who watch the Turkish league, you could kind of say they're the MLS of Europe. All right.
There's a lot of parallels you can draw with that. Yeah, with no disrespect, of course. I mean, the Turkish league has great fans, great culture, and I think anyone who's a football fan will know about the likes of Fenerbahce, Galatasaray.
Yeah, their fans are mad. Their atmosphere is
great football culture, and often volatile as well. Very passionate, especially in the Istanbul derbies.
All the decibels.
But all the decibels, yeah. Next, United at home against Lask, going into the game with a 5-0 aggregate lead. Honestly, rotation. Solskjaer is going to rotate. I think the chances of Lask winning 6-0 are slim to none, impossible. I think we're going to see the likes of maybe Tayden Mengi, Ethan Laird, a lot of young academy graduates, maybe Diogo Dalot. I think Odion Igalo, who's had his loan extended till January of 2021, is definitely probably likely to start. And I think Solskjaer already confirmed that Lingard will be starting this game. So, yeah, my money's obviously on Manchester United.
Yeah, can't fault you there. Then we've got Leverkusen, who are playing Rangers. Leverkusen already 3-1 up from the
Good
first
old
leg.
Rangers.
Yeah, my money's Leverkusen, honestly. Very good German side. Yeah,
they're solid, and they've still got Kai Havertz on their books. So I think, it's a lot to ask of Gerrard's Rangers to go all the way out there to Leverkusen and get anything out of this tie at this point. But crazier things have happened. You never know in football.
correct. That game will be followed by Basel and Eintracht Frankfurt. Frankfurt, a very good team, but already 3-0 down from the first leg. Honestly, my money's on them to come back and win it.
You think Frankfurt is going to have one hell of a comeback then?
Yeah, I think out of this part of the round of fixtures, I think that's going to be the big game, alongside the next game, which would be Wolves and Olympiacos. But yeah, man, Frankfurt's a good side.
I do agree with you. I reckon Frankfurt's got a lot about them. we've seen a lot of good football from them over the course of the season, and I mean the last couple of seasons actually. Basel are at home though, so it's going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting to see how.
I mean, if anything's shown us so far from like the restart, that home advantage isn't that much that existed anymore.
It's less significant than it is otherwise, but I think it still does play a role, with or without fans in the stadium. But I think Frankfurt, I can see Frankfurt getting at least 2 goals in this one.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the last game of this round, which I know I'll be watching, will be Wolves Olympiacos.
Yeah.
I think Wolves will make it to the quarterfinals, man. I don't know about you.
Honestly, when the Europa League the fixtures were announced, I really one of the teams to watch for me was always going to be Wolverhampton Wanderers. They've got a lot about them. I think Nuno Espirito Santi. I mean, they finished 7th consecutively in the Premier League in 2 seasons. They've got one hell of a squad. The likes of Adama Traore with his Johnson baby oil, so he can just slip out of the grasp of defenders, is just one of the wonderful, unique characteristics of this great team that Nuno's put together. Ruben Neves, Moutinho in midfield, Raul Jimenez, who's linked with United. He knows how to score them, and his strike partner Diogo Jota. They're a good team, and I honestly, if Wolves do get out of this tie as triumphant, I could see them going all the way in this competition.
Yeah, and I mean, let's not forget that Wolves have to succeed in the Europa League in order to be part of Europe next season. Given that Arsenal
there's a lot more on the line for Wolves.
Definitely. Then we've got these last 2 games, which are one-off games for Inter Milan and Getafe.
The first legs were postponed, so it's just everything is on one fixture.
Yeah, Inter Milan's playing Getafe and Sevilla's playing Roma. I think the bigger game here is Sevilla and Roma.
It'd be interesting.
Yeah, out of these 2 games, I'm betting on Sevilla and Inter Milan. What about you?
I think Inter could edge Getafe. Obviously, I want Inter to get knocked out, because if things go my way personally, and United do the work, get the results, and find themselves in the Europa League final, Inter Milan are probably, other than Wolves, they're probably our biggest threat in the competition on paper. So if Getafe can get one hell of a result and knock Inter out, I'd be delighted. But my gut tells me Inter are going to win this one. And with Sevilla Roma, I think it's anybody's game, but I think Sevilla have a proven track record in the Europa League and could probably edge it. So I'm going for Inter and Sevilla as the winners out of those 2 ties.
All right, fair enough. Let's move on to Champions League.
So Lyon's got that 1-goal lead against Juve. I don't know if they're going to be able to hold on to that. I think Juventus are going to come back punching and probably throwing everything at Lyon, especially in Turin. I think Juventus are going to come out of that one victorious. And on the other hand, City, Real Madrid. What do you make of this one?
Oh, we know Guardiola wants that Champions League.
Not the FFP matters.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. It's going to be a really, really tight game. Definitely the one I'm going to be watching. Honestly, you know what? I'm going to bet on City.
I think Real Madrid are going to knock them out. I think it's going to be surprising. I think Zizou's got something up his sleeve, a little bit of headbutt action. I think he's going to come back and absolutely outplay City. I just have a feeling. In Manchester, it doesn't matter if Mariano's got COVID or not. I think Real Madrid are going to surprise us. I have this feeling. I don't think City has enough. I don't think they don't have enough of that soul in the club, man. They don't have that European pedigree. Real Madrid, even without the likes of Cristiano, and obviously I don't think Gareth Bale will be kicking a ball in this match either. I think there's something about Real Madrid as a club that will just edge it out in this tie. I mean, yeah, it looks like that's the one we've disagreed on so far, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, just seeing here, like City are already 2-1 up in the first leg, aren't they? So
yeah,
it'll definitely be a tight game. Moving on to Bayern and Chelsea. Do you see way back for Chelsea in this game? With injuries to Pulisic?
Honestly, with all the injuries, with all the injuries and the way that they the way that Arsenal smacked them in the FA Cup final, I think this is just going to be a walk in the park for Bayern. But I wouldn't put it past Chelsea getting a goal back. I think they're gonna definitely. I mean, they're gonna be fighting for their lives, but it's a big mountain to climb for them.
Yeah, I don't see a way back in for Chelsea at this point.
But it's the Champions League, and crazier things have happened.
Yeah,
that's the thing. Like, you know what? Like, I always feel like with Champions League, like even if you're like, I mean, we saw it with PSG and Barcelona like a couple of seasons back, right? I think PSG were like 6-0 up or something, and Barca came back to win that tie.
Yeah, but also PSG United, so that could be PSG.
Yeah. I mean, it could be the curse of Paris, but I don't know. I mean, it's happened with Borussia Dortmund and Real Madrid in the past as well. But for this Chelsea side, I just don't think they have it in them. I don't think with the injuries and the quality in the squad that they're going to be able to match Bayern in this second leg.
I mean, last point for me, like given that they're going to be going back into training for the Premier League in 2 weeks' time, even if they play a strong team, I don't think see them playing like at 100%. So that's pretty much a walk in the park, as you said, for Bayern.
Yeah.
And the last game of the evening will be Barcelona versus Napoli. 1-1 draw in the first leg. Do you think Barca have the firepower to clinch this?
Things get messy. Unintended. Yeah, man. I think honestly, we are going to have our guest La Liga correspondents joining us in future episodes, and one of them is an avid Barcelona fan, a close friend of mine, and we've been talking about the affairs at Barcelona, and honestly, bro, like it's bad. Like the club is tits up, and there's a lot of disgruntlement. There's a lot of disagreements in the background at board level, and it's kind of seeped into things in the dressing room. And I think one man that's a focal point of all of these disagreements is that little Argentinian legend, Lionel Messi. I think Leo's not happy. And if Leo's not happy, this Barcelona team has little chance. But I think it all depends on who shows up on the day, given that Napoli they've got a pretty good foot in this tie. But I honestly think it's anybody's game. I can't call this one.
Yeah, I'd agree with you there. But if we had to make a prediction, you know what? Just to upset the apple cart, I'm going to go for Napoli.
You know what? I'm going to lean Napoli as well.
Yeah?
Only because I'm so bitter, man. I'm so fucking bitter. Because we United would have had maybe 2 more Champions Leagues to their name if it wasn't for that great Barcelona side with the likes of Villa and Henry in the previous year, Xavi, Iniesta, Busquets, Messi, of course. It's just, I mean, I know Rooney's recently come out and talked about how Fergie got his tactics wrong in both those finals, but seeing Barcelona suffer, as much as I know it pains the hearts of a lot of my Catalan friends, I love it, and I can't wait for Messi to not renew his contract and move elsewhere and hopefully come to the greatest league in the world.
All right, let's calm down now. But
I'm just saying.
Yeah. Well, let's wait and see on the weekend, shall we? And as you mentioned, look out for the episode, guys. We're going to have a few guests on, some Barcelona fans, some Serie A fans on the podcast with us to bring their insight and share their post-match analysis, whatever the result of those fixtures. And yeah, let's keep things moving, shall we? Let's do a quick transfer roundup. Who do you want to start with?
Been a lot of movement, a lot of rumors going around.
I mean, the main headline, which I can't seem to avoid, is United and their move for Jadon Sancho from Dortmund. Yeah,
it looks. I mean, you're getting a few mixed reports, but a lot of strong sources like the likes of Ornstein and Fabrizio Romano all saying the deal is all but done. Personal terms have been agreed, but there seems to be a little bit of disagreement. And I think there was a United report on Twitter just reported earlier today that United have told Dortmund that they're not afraid to walk away from the deal if Dortmund don't come to agree with United's valuation of Jadon Sancho. So it looks like everything's leaning in the favor of Manchester United and getting this deal done, hopefully by the end of next week.
Right, and you've also renewed the deal for Brandon Williams.
Yeah, great young player. He's renewed till 2024. Reward for his development and great performances throughout the season. I think when Shaw's been injured or out of form, Brandon Williams has stepped up and he hasn't looked out of place in that United team.
And we're also hearing Sanchez could be staying at Inter permanently.
Finally, the greatest performance was on the fucking piano, bro. Honestly, like it's about time. It was a deal that didn't make much sense to most United fans that I've spoken to personally, including myself. We didn't really know where he was going to fit, and it just feels like we went for him because City wanted him, and we were willing to kind of price him out of the deal, right? And unfortunately, things just didn't work for Sanchez up north. And there's a lot of talk amongst football fans about Premier League proven or Champions League proven when teams go for big signings. And with the likes of Alexis Sanchez, like he's proven everything at Barcelona, at Arsenal, even at Udinese in the earlier days in Serie A. But I don't know. I just think we saw the best of him at Arsenal, and I think he was spent. I think he was never focused. He never really fully settled in at Manchester, and I think it's a good deal for Inter. From what I'm hearing, there's not going to be a transfer fee. He's going to be going on free, but Inter will be taking full responsibility for all of his wages, which is fantastic for Manchester United. Yeah, Sanchez for Sancho.
Yeah, let's look across Manchester at Manchester City. They've secured the services of Ferran Torres from Valencia for a £21 million deal.
Promising, raw, exciting player. I think that's a good signing for them, but I mean, they're never in shortage of wingers. I think he's just a replacement for Leroy Sané, who made his way over to Bayern. Yeah.
And of course, they're also linked with Nathan Ake from Bournemouth. Bournemouth, who've been relegated, who are now going to be losing quite a few of their players. Good signing for them, you think?
Nathan Ake, I've got in some heated conversations regarding him with a few Bournemouth fans on social media. They think he's suspect. He's prone to error. He's been a weakness in the side, even though I think opposition fans and fans throughout Europe and definitely the Premier League would say Nathan Ake is a solid centre back. He's ever present in the Dutch national team, and he's left-footed, which is a plus. He can also play at fullback. I think we could possibly see him grow into an even better player under the tutelage of Pep Guardiola. What do you think?
I have to agree with you. I think it's a matter of coaching, right? I mean, I don't doubt Guardiola has the right idea, and if they've selected him as their next center back or part of that starting 11 potentially in the future, then they know what they're doing. Yeah.
I mean, the thing about City is when they do get it wrong, and they have got it wrong with transfers in the past, no one seems to care because they're like, oh, if they get it wrong, they'll just shovel out another 200 million from Sheikh Mansour's bank account and get it right, or keep going for it until they get it right. And so if Ake doesn't work out, I'm sure they'll be back in the market. And I know they've been also linked with the likes of Koulibaly at Napoli as well. So it remains to be seen. It looks like Guardiola is definitely not happy with his defensive options.
Yeah, we'll have to wait and see. And as we mentioned, there's going to be quite a few of these relegation side teams losing their players, including Naby Sarr from Watford, who's linked with Liverpool.
Yeah. Did you say Naby? You say Naby Sarr?
Ismail Sarr, sorry.
Ismail Sarr.
There's quite a few stars out there.
Got Naby Keita, bro.
There's quite a few stars out there in Europe.
Yeah, as long as it's not the viral sort.
I knew you'd say that.
No, I know. I reckon, if Sarr does go to Liverpool, I mean, I think we were talking about it earlier off the podcast, that he was the first player to kind of ruin Liverpool's hope to go invincible and undefeated. And death never hurts, especially when you're trying to defend your crown, which Liverpool will more than likely be looking at doing. I think once you're at the top, the biggest challenge for most of these clubs is to stay at the top, which City failed to do last season. But Liverpool might be looking to do one better than them and go for a second consecutive title. And I think a signing of the pedigree of Ismail Sarr is a signal of intent. I think it's a good signing if they do get everything sealed.
Yeah, man, it's listen, like these relegation clubs, it's the bargain bucket, but they've got some good DVDs in there, you know? So
Yeah.
it's no surprise.
Doesn't matter where you get your eggs as long as they make good omelets. I like Jose Mourinho.
Exactly. Let's move down to London. And we're looking at Spurs, who are also linked with another Watford player, Troy Deeney, as well as Southampton's Højbjerg.
Troy Deeney, bro. Like, can you imagine him playing with Tottenham and just like grabbing Harry Kane by the scruff of the neck and be like, "You fucking go there," like just losing his shit. Like, he's just Troy Deeney is just one of those characters that you love in fucking football. Like every club wishes they had a Troy Deeney. You know, I mean, United. Obviously, like, we've had big characters, the likes of Eric Cantona and Roy Keane, and like massive leaders, you know, Jaap Stam. But Troy Deeney, when I think of Watford, he's the first player that always comes to mind. And to just picture him in a Jose Mourinho side, it feels weird for me, bro.
Yeah, looks aside, the guy's a monster, you know. So
yeah, looks included. He's an absolute tank. He's a beast on and off the pitch. But it has to be said, he's a proper footballer. Like the man can play, regardless of whatever criticism you might have.
And maybe that's the kind of attitude Mourinho wants in his dressing room, right?
Yeah, he's always said, even during his time at United, he wants fighters. He wants players who will give everything. He wants the likes of what he had at Chelsea. You know, players that are willing to run through brick walls for him. And I think Troy Deeney fits that profile really well.
Yeah. And just for the sake of time, let's cover these last two London clubs. Let's start off with Chelsea and end with Arsenal. Chelsea have been linked with Lewis Dunk from Brighton and Declan Rice at West Ham. Good signings, you think, for Chelsea?
I mean, Lewis Dunk. If you're going for Lewis Dunk, he's at Brighton, correct?
Yeah, Brighton.
Yeah. So if you're Chelsea and you're trying to do like, well, it seems like a second coming of Gary Cahill almost. You know what I'm saying? Like bringing someone from a mid-table level club and just plugging him into that Chelsea back line. I don't know, man. I don't know, because if it goes through, obviously, like it all depends on how well he takes to life at Chelsea and under Frank Lampard. I think Lewis Dunk is a solid Premier League player. But I don't know if he's the kind of player you go for if you're trying to challenge for top four and eventually the league. I'm just not sure. I have doubts about Lewis Dunk personally, not as a quality player in the Premier League, but as a signing for a club with the ambitions of Chelsea, or at least what we've come to expect from a club like Chelsea. Elsewhere, Declan Rice, honestly, like great player, quality, and I think he showed that he can even bang in a few screamers this season for West Ham. What do you think of Declan Rice going to Chelsea?
Yeah, I put him up there with James Maddison, possibly even Jack Grealish. Like he's that kind of good box-to-box midfielder you want in your midfield. Exciting young talent. Yeah. Yeah. And also they've got a few players linked to the move away from Chelsea.
Please, can I talk about this?
Okay.
All right. I think. I mean, you as an Arsenal fan, myself as a United fan, it's going to become very apparent in future episodes that we might not be the biggest fans of Chelsea as a club. In more ways than one, but this just made me smile from ear to ear when I saw it. I read it on Sky Sports not too long ago that Chelsea were looking at offloading Kepa Arrizabalaga, Jorginho, Antonio Rudiger, Kurt Zuma, and Andreas Christensen. So it's just like, yeah, we're gonna get rid of the entire kind of foundation of this side just because, you know, they finished fourth. They were inconsistent. Fair enough, right? It's Lampard's first season, but he's fucking clearing out the entire back line, the heart of that back line, and the goalkeeper.
I mean, if this is true, these rumors are true, then yeah, Lampard is going for a reset, and these aren't his players anyway. These aren't his signings to begin with, you know. These are leftovers from the Sarri era, aren't they? So I think this is also could also be an indication of like them trying to free up some of the wage bill. For the new players they brought in, such as Werner, Kai Havertz potentially, and have teams die.
Honestly, like I know nothing's been done yet. This is all speculation and rumors, and it's like a soft sell, right? It's not that they've actively transfer listed them and they don't want them anymore. I think with Kepa, it's a little bit different. We know that Lampard doesn't rate him. He's played Caballero in bigger games, but they've said is they're willing to listen to offers for these players, which in short is, you know, it's polite for get the fuck out of my club. It's just question marks because they're looking top heavy. You know, it doesn't look like they've got much in the back defensively or in the goalkeeping position. I think Caballero is a solid keeper. I don't think he's good enough to win you the league. I don't think he's good enough to win you the Champions League. Kepa, he's clearly he's clearly error prone, but like you want to back your young players. You know, I mean, like Arsenal, you saw Emiliano Martinez, who's like waited out in the wings for years and finally gets a shot and he takes it. You know, but it took a lot of you got to keep faith in these young players and allow them the room to make errors and learn from them. And I just don't think I just think Lampard's probably run out of patience for Kepa. It's interesting.
Yeah, definitely. Let's wait and see what happens. So let's end the transfer roundup with Arsenal. Heavy links today with Willian coming in.
Yeah, I think it's done. Honestly, I think it's done.
I'm hearing personal terms are like very advanced. He's on a free. Yeah. I don't mind it. It's just the issue I have with players coming on a free is with Arsenal, they're typically over the age of 30, and sometimes they demand insane wages because they're coming in on a free. There's no transfer fee to be demanded by the selling club.
Yeah, there's usually kind of like compensation, isn't there?
Yeah, but I think we could use a bit more depth on the wings. I mean, Aubameyang has also. It's been rumored that he wants Ousmane Dembele in as an option. We've been linked as well with Wilfried Zaha. Given we haven't got that much to spend, quote unquote, supposedly. I'm just willing to wait and see. Honestly, the big signing all Arsenal fans are waiting for is Aubameyang's new deal.
Yeah. I think that's a priority for the club. I think.
A curious story that's emerged today. I think there's been a photo of like a photo shoot happening at the Emirates by the Thierry Henry statue with what looks like to be Ian Wright standing next to it. So people are, they're drawing conclusions, like saying, Wright wore number 14, Henry wore 14, Aubameyang was 14. Why are they shooting a video now? Like, I'm gonna keep patient and see what happens, but hopefully we can get this deal done.
Yeah, I think honestly to continue on the upward trajectory for Arteta and his new project at Arsenal, it's important for you to hold on to your captain, your proven goal scorer, and probably the best striker at Arsenal at the moment. I mean, Lacazette's great. I do rate him. But I think Aubameyang has a little bit of that personality and star quality. And he's obviously got a great relationship, a very unique relationship with the fans. So it's important for Arsenal to kind of give the man what he wants and match his demands and his ambition, right?
Yeah, and he's definitely got a few years left in him. They're quoting a 3-year contract at around £250,000 a week. I think.
What is he now? He's 31 at the moment, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
he
definitely. I think
he plays like he's under 25. So
yeah, I think you can get the best out of him if you do get him down to that deal. Arsenal will get the best out of him.
Because if he does leave, then the amount of work the board and Arteta has to do next season is going to multiply exponentially. And just to note on who's on the way out, most likely candidate so far is Matteo Guendouzi, who has been frozen out of Arteta's side.
Oh, man.
This guy's had plenty of chances. Honestly, when he first came in, I liked him. He had a good passing range, good vision, showed passion on the field. He seemed like he was a very promising young midfielder joining from Saint Laurent in the French second division. I'm gutted kind of see him go, but I understand that we don't need that kind of toxic atmosphere in the dressing room. He's been linked with a swap deal for from Barcelona, plus £9 million. Honestly, take my arms and legs right now. If that's the deal, I'd be happy to push that through.
What is it? What is that? What is that old mantra of football clubs? I think in the case of Guendouzi, it's a case of FIFO. You know what that is, right?
Please educate our audience.
It's basically Guendouzi, fit in or fuck off. I think I think he failed to fit in, and he seems to have issues with authority, and I don't know. He just doesn't seem like
He
really
fit
fits
in.
in.
He fit in initially. Like, I mean, if you watch the training videos, you see that he had quite a good relationship with Aubameyang and Lacazette. That French.
Well, I mean, there's more to that, right? Like, it's not just about friendships with your teammates.
Yeah.
It's also like fitting into the system and the philosophy, and what the way the manager wants to play, and like the discipline that comes with being at a club like Arsenal, especially under someone who seems to be pretty strict on discipline, like Arteta does come across.
Yeah, I mean, listen, like I think most fans would agree we don't mind losing Guendouzi, even if it means, especially if it means continue coming the other way. One player who I don't want to lose is Martinez. Honestly, the guy, you said he's waited 10 years for his chance. Take it. We saw his emotional reaction after winning the FA Cup final. I don't know what they're going to do. Like, Arteta's got 2 number ones, not a 1 and 2. I hope they can come to terms with him and keep him at the club next season. And I think he's going to be a very important player for us in going into Europe.
I honestly don't think you've had a keeper as passionate and as much of a gooner as Martinez is in a long time. Maybe since Szczesny. And the one that comes to mind the most is David Seaman, like someone he's really got the best heart for the club. Like he really cares. He really gives a fuck, and he's gonna represent the club well on and off the pitch. And he's taken his chance. I think that deserves recognition.
Yeah, definitely show that he's a key player.
Yeah.
So yeah, for the sake of time, let's move on to our last topic of the evening. The failed bid or failed takeover of Newcastle by the Saudis.
I think I think Saudi Arabia is out of the deal. I think it expired, didn't it? Their whole
it didn't expire. The Saudis pulled out because they've been made to wait 17 weeks with really like no communication.
Yeah, but there was a clause that they had within which a certain time they had to get a few things agreed upon and communicated between the parties, and that clause expired, which is why they were like, yeah, we waited long enough. And like you said, it was 17 weeks. I just don't think it's going to happen. I mean, it's very unlikely for the Premier League to sanction a deal with someone who pirates their image rights, their television rights in their own country. You know what I'm saying? Like, it would just be completely contradictory. That's the word. And I just think, it's a no-brainer. And we've talked about it before. Devastating for Newcastle fans, stuck with Mike Ashley, but it looks like he's still willing to sell the club. And there has been a recent bid.
Yeah, I mean, like a few points here. So, like, yes, I think behind the scenes, this piracy issue where Saudi Arabian back channel BOutQ Sports has been linked as the main piracy channel for the Premier League in that region. I think that's the main reason it's killed the deal. It is devastating for Newcastle fans, especially not just for the club but for the city, because they're expecting investment in that area as well.
It's a big club. It's a big club.
Yeah, Mike Ashley can take his time. He's going to pocket the 17 million deposit they put down. There is another interested investor. I think he goes by Mike Harris. But I think the Geordies wanted the Saudis. And to the point where on Twitter you'd see Geordie fans with Saudi flags and their handles, pictures of MBS as their profile picture. As a Gulf national, it's a very peculiar thing to see, but that's the effect football has on people. So Saudis for them. I think that's it for today, Z. Anything else you want to mention before we leave?
Yeah, just that we are now on social media. We set everything up. We're still in the infancy of growing our podcast and having a lot of exciting, opinions from a lot of people who love the beautiful game as much as we do. But we are, we're officially on Instagram. You can find us at Armchair Managers, as well as on Twitter at AC_managers. And we're going to have links on all of our social medias to various accounts where you can listen to the podcast regularly, whether on Anchor or Spotify. And we are on YouTube as well. Although it's a soft start, we do hope to transition into a sort of visual medium Yeah, and Sibby can explain a little more about that as well.
Yeah, we're still honing our craft. This is also very new for us as a sort of like platform and activity. Just go to Anchor and you can see all the links for our socials there. We're up on YouTube. We'll be doing video podcasts very soon. And look forward to next episode. We're going to have some guests on to cover the Europa Champions League round of fixtures and hopefully review our match predictions from this podcast. And yeah, that's it for me. I'm Sibby signing off, and you are Z.
Hey. Have a good one, guys. Well,
right.
We'll catch up with you again once we've rounded up LD Europa League and Champions League action.
Take care, guys. Be safe. Good night.
Take care. Bye, guys.